Hello, this is Volker Rautenberg of BPM-X with another webcast. Within this webcast, we would like to present our smart approach to automatically generate test cases from your existing business process models. These test cases may then be used for the integration and regression testing of your end-to-end processes in enterprise resource planning or short ERP projects. ERP professionals know that end-to-end testing is a very challenging discipline in the quality assurance of complex ERP applications from leading vendors like SAP and Oracle. Before going ahead with the automatic generation of end-to-end test cases, let me give you some background information on BPM-X. BPM-X is a software vendor that offers the BPM Exchange Enterprise Application Integration software for seamless tool integration. BPM-X permits to exchange and transform any kind of enterprise models between tools, vendors, and standards. The BPM-X software is based upon a modular software framework. Besides the broad offering of various integration schemes, BPM-X offers functionalities such as business process mining and the generation of end-to-end test cases for model-based testing, which is exactly what this webcast is about. In this webcast we shall deal with a showcase scenario of having pre-existing Visio-based business process models. We shall take them as input and generate test cases again as Visio files as well as Excel files. The latter can easily be uploaded into SAP Solution Manager. Please keep in mind that this is just one of many possible scenarios we do address, so let's now go ahead. ERP solutions from SAP, Oracle, or any other vendor are as complex as the business of those large companies and organizations running such solutions. Before going into the customizing of ERP applications, every ERP project starts with a blueprinting phase to capture all business requirements. Following the Wikipedia definition, business process management is the application of knowledge, skills, tools, techniques, and systems to define, visualize, measure, control, report, and improve processes with a goal to meet customer requirements profitably. To manage a business blueprint, so-called business process modeling or business process analysis tools are employed. One set of the deliverables created as outcome of the blueprint phase are business process models, sometimes also referred to as business process diagrams. The existing process models created during the blueprinting phase are in fact the foundation and input for the automatic generation of test cases. Your process models can easily be leveraged by the BPM-X test case generator software. For each process model a set of test cases is generated. Due to yes, no, and other kinds of decisions inside a process model, a typical process flow contains different potential paths when going from the start to the end of a business process. The test cases are generated for the process paths depending upon different algorithms like statement coverage, branch coverage, or path coverage. In this way, probabilities of single decisions are used to compute the overall probability of a specific test case to be executed. The BPM-X test case generator of course addresses tool-based end-to-end process testing by providing deliverables in different formats such as Microsoft Excel, SAP Test Workbench, HP Quality Center, IBM Rational Quality Manager, and Visio, to name a few. Based upon the automatically generated deliverables, there are two basic alternatives for the execution of test cases. Using, for instance, the Microsoft Excel format, test cases could be executed manually. The professional approach, however, relies upon test management software like the SAP Test Workbench and SAP Solution Manager or Hewlett-Packard's Quality Center. The open interface of BPM-X is able to generate any format needed for the processing of test cases in the respective test management tools, be it for regression or integration testing. When we look at a typical process model, the process flow is described by using a modeling language like BPMN. Zooming into the model, we can see that for each business role, an individual swim lane allocates the set of specific business activities to be executed. Besides the BPMN method, other methods and notations are used, as for instance the well-known EPC, the Event-Driven Process Chain method. Please notice that BPM-X does not depend upon a specific modeling method. any modeling standard or tool-specific modeling language can be adapted to use your existing business process models as input to automatically generate test cases. Looking at the attributes of a business activity, we can see that in ERP systems like SAP, activities are implemented through so-called SAP transactions. In a process model, transactions can be represented by shapes or simply by a so-called transaction code attribute. As a typical SAP example, we can see here the VA01 transaction, which is used to create a sales order. Why model-based testing? BPMX's motivation to develop and offer the BPMX test case generator mainly targets the reduction of costs and risks, as well as a quality increase which is possible when doing integration and regression testing for ERP applications. Typical test efforts in ERP projects are around 10 to 15% of a project's services costs. For a $5 million project, $500,000 to $750,000 are spent for test efforts. Let us have a closer look at the facts. In terms of costs, the manual creation of test cases is only accomplished with high project efforts for the design of many end-to-end business scenarios. Moreover, the traditional design of test cases takes qualified and costly resources out of the project core and testing teams. And insufficient integration testing reduces production efficiency and increases software maintenance costs. Let us have a closer look at the risks. Even if skilled project team members design the test cases, there is a high risk of not capturing all relevant end-to-end scenarios to be executed as test cases. Also, there is the risk of having incomplete test cases with serious business impacts on the production environment. In productive operation, untested process scenarios and untested technical interfaces immediately lead to process failures with according business impacts. Also consider the case that a business process has changed in the context of risk management, for instance due to the Sarbanes-Oxley Act. Missing the corresponding test cases could have critical consequences. Besides costs and risks, quality is a very important metric for an ERP project. A bad test coverage leads to a low software quality and so has a high business impact. An incomplete matching of the test data will increase the negative impact. Also, insufficient reviews of the work products and deliverables of the business processes add to the negative effect. The short answer to the question of why to do model-based testing is: the business impact of insufficiently tested end-to-end business scenarios results in low-quality business process support and significantly higher software maintenance costs. The BPMX test case generator creates different deliverables based upon your existing process models, or business process procedures as they are called on the implementation level. Internally, the BPMX test case generator converts any process model into a BPMN representation, which serves as a starting point to create test cases as end-to-end sequences of activities. To control the number of generated test cases, an ERP test manager typically selects one of the following coverage options in the test case generator. The statement coverage ensures that each activity and decision is at least executed once. The branch coverage makes sure that each branch of the control flow of the process is embraced, and the path coverage cares about the testing of each possible outcome of an atomic decision in a test case of its own. A very common format used for testing is Microsoft Excel. The BPMX test case generator permits to create one Excel file containing all test cases. The Excel output option also is very handy for the integration with the SAP Solution Manager's test workbench, as Excel files may easily be loaded into Solution Manager. As a vendor-neutral supplier, BPMX directly supports HP Quality Center by exchanging test cases as BPMN models in the XPDL interchange format. Let us now look at a demonstration of the BPMX test case generator. We'll use a sales order processing business process procedure which has been modeled in BPMN with Microsoft Visio, but in fact we could use EPC or any other business process modeling language. This real-world model has one start and two end events. It uses different swim lanes, each one showing what's going on for a specific business role. The shapes you see are representing activities or tasks, work products like documents, and decisions. It is also important to notice that the shapes are described in more detail through properties like the ERP transaction name to be called for data handling. The BPMX test case generator is a software operation of the BPMX converter. In this showcase we employ the BPMX Workstation Edition, a desktop component used by test administrators. There also is a server edition of the BPMX converter, which has advanced features like job scheduling and background processing. In the first demo we deal with Microsoft Visio as input as well as output format. Visio in fact is used by many organizations because it is very beneficial for the documentation and analysis of test cases. The selection of a specific conversion chain instructs the converter to generate test cases in the desired format. We right now shall address Visio. The other options of this demo configuration refer to Excel and BPMN-centric XPDL output for HP Quality Center. There is a separate webcast focusing on the usage of HP Quality Center. Please notice that configurations for the input and output formats of other test management and execution tools can be customized. They are not included in this demo configuration. We pick the Visio to Visio option now. Let us proceed with more settings. Here we provide the Visio sales order processing model as source. As mentioned before, we have several options as per the coverage of the generated test cases: statement, branch, path, and condition coverage. As the latter two typically end up with a large number of test cases, we select branch coverage for convenience. To run the test case generation, we simply click the Convert button. As a result, we have obtained two test cases, this shorter one and a more elaborated one. Due to the branch coverage selection, each activity and decision has been taken into account. Let us now turn to the second demo, which is about test cases generated as Microsoft Excel output. In many projects, Excel is used as a tool to structure and document the test cases. The Excel test cases generated by BPMX embrace all kinds of activities, including manual and IT-supported tasks. If a transaction is assigned to a task, the transaction code is listed in a column next to the task. Excel-based test cases may also be loaded into SAP Solution Manager, where a task typically is a process step with assigned SAP transactions. We'll come back to the SAP demo once we have generated test cases in the Excel format. Again we use the BPMX converter for the test case generation. Now we of course select the conversion chain Visio to Excel. Skipping to more settings, we leave the Visio source file unchanged as we like to use the same business process model as before. And we'll also use the branch coverage. As all test cases should go into a single Excel file with each case represented on a worksheet of its own, the active storage setting is fine. Let's now press the Convert button to run the test case generation. We obtain the same two test cases as in our first demo with the Visio output, a shorter Excel case and the longer one. Notice that the Excel worksheets list the sequence of test steps, the activities, the associated SAP transaction codes, inputs and outputs of the activities, and a passed and failed column to take note of the test results. This Excel file may now serve as instruction for the testers. We may also upload the Excel test case file into SAP Solution Manager. The graphical user interface of SAP is showing Transaction Solo 2, which is used to achieve the configuration of a blueprint project. You can see that the Test Cases tab for the sales order processing so far does not contain any test cases. Let's create a new one of type test document and name it, for instance, Sales Order Processing Branch Tests. Then we pick the Excel file which has just been created. Double-clicking the new test case brings up the Excel file in SAP. With this basic information, the test case can now be conducted by the SAP test team. The BPMX test case generator has a strong value proposition, focusing on the integration and regression testing for ERP solutions based on business process models. The BPMX test case generator reuses your existing business process models. It is independent of the BPM or BPA tool and even the modeling language you have used. The test case generator provides an option to select a specific coverage algorithm when automatically creating test cases. Typically, a statement, branch or path coverage is selected. If available, business knowledge about decision probabilities can be taken into account. Deliverables are created as end-to-end models and provided as Microsoft Excel files or BPMN models in XPDL format. The BPMX test case generator identifies ERP transactions, technical interfaces between applications, input-output work products, that is data, which is very important for the creation of test data. Finally, the BPMX test case generator integrates with the SAP Solution Manager's Test Workbench, HP Quality Center, or tools like IBM Rational Quality Manager. In this webcast you have learned the most important facts about the BPMX approach to model-based testing, a field where business meets IT. Our mission in optimizing complex ERP projects is to effectively improve the support of business processes by increasing the quality of an ERP solution and to lower costs and risks of such a project. The methodology consists of 3 phases: blueprinting the ERP solution, test case generation, and end-to-end testing. In the blueprinting phase, process models are created by using a BPM tool for modeling. In the test case generation phase, the BPMX test case generator reads the process models and generates a set of end-to-end test cases depending upon the selected coverage algorithm. And finally, the test cases are executed in the course of integration and regression tests. Typically this is achieved with tools like SAP Solution Manager's Test Workbench or HP Quality Center. Now that this webcast is nearing its end, we would like to thank you very much for watching this video about model-based testing and how it is supported by the BPMX test case generator software. We'll be happy to send you our white paper or to arrange a free live webinar about model-based testing. Simply drop an email to info@bpm-ags.com. For more information about BPMX and BPMX software, please visit our website at www.bpm-ags.com. I am Volker Rautenberg of BPMX. Thanks again and goodbye.